At 6 miles in Chimutu village, in the area of Senior Chief Kalumba in Lilongwe, lives used to be simple, marked by quiet evenings and clean air. But now frustration is rising like the smoke that drifts from a factory belonging to Jingcheng Plastic Recycling Industries Limited. For nearly a year, Chimutu village residents have been pleading for relief from the bad smell, relentless noise and polluted wastewater spilling into their surroundings. But their cries have made a war of failure by the authorities, leaving many feeling ignored and some outright furious. What began as hope for economic development has turned into a public health nightmare, and the community is demanding to be heard. Fane Bonongwe and Howard Mwale claim there used to be no mosquito problems in the area, but now it is worse. They struggle to sleep at night due to the smoke, noise and mosquitoes that breed in the factory's wastewater.
My concern is the smoke. As soon as darkness falls, we lose our peace. My house is right next to the factory wall, so the smoke and swarm of mosquitoes disturb our peace.
At first, there was no problem with mosquitoes here. Now, the mosquito problem has worsened. They say these mosquitoes came from China to feed on mosquitoes from Malawi.
Isaac Kazanga, who practices fish farming and grows various crops in the village, says early this year he noticed that the water in the fish ponds was turning reddish, prompting him to seek intervention from the Malawi Environmental Protection Authority, MEPA.
This is the first time that we are having this problem.
The company manufactures sacks from plastic materials collected and sold by locals. Additionally, the wastewater is damaging underground water sources and the stream in the village, which farmers like Isaac Kazanga have relied on for over 20 years for crop irrigation and fish farming. In February 2025, the residents wrote the Malawi Environmental Protection Authority MEPA to intervene. On March 11, 2025, MEPA visited the company, and in a letter dated 14th March 2025 and addressed to the company's manager, MEPA confirmed that the residents' complaints were valid. As a result, MEPA ordered the factory to, among others, relocate its machinery by March 25, 2025 to an area away from the residential zones. The company was given a stop order and a fine of 5 million kwacha. On April 24, 2025, the National Water Resources Authority, NWRA, along with representatives from the Water Quality Service Division in the Ministry of Water and Sanitation, visited the company and tested the water being discharged outside the premises through previously uncovered drainage channels. They found that the wastewater was polluting the stream and dam used by Kazanga for fish farming. The company was violating Section 92 of the Water Resources Act. In a letter dated June 16, 2025, NWRA emphasized that the company's wastewater contained chemicals, grease and oil used in its operations. These findings gave hope to the complainants, but now many are bitter, some frustrated due to the lack of any noticeable changes.
But then I'm seeing some change of attitude. I'm seeing now MERA and the other agencies probably siding who we feel is responsible for this.
Meanwhile, MEPA admits that no environmental and social impact assessment (ESIA) was conducted. MEPA Director General Wilfred Kadewa says formal environmental inspections were conducted between the months of March and June. By early July, the company had complied with the environmental order by rectifying the issues identified in the inspections, and they were allowed to resume operations. He further states that the lifting of the stop order did not mean that they had a clean bill, as compliance to the standards is a must at all times. Masozi Kasambala, spokesperson for the National Water Resources Authority, states that any business found endangering the environment or human life pays fines and is supposed to be immediately shut down to protect public safety and preserve natural resources. Environmental Officer at Lilongwe District Health Office, LDHO, Paul Chunga, says when their office became aware of the complaints from the people in the first week of September, they gave the factory 14 days to address the complaints raised by the people.
We are yet to make the final decision because they were given 14 days to work on the anomalies, to work on the nuisances that people have been complaining about.
Center for Environmental Policy and Advocacy, SEPA, Executive Director Herbert Marukomo observes that plastic recycling requires strict controls stronger enforcement by regulatory bodies like MEPA, stressing that without accountability, such activities undermine the very purpose of environmental oversight.
We are supposed to have standards for all types of pollution that we get from various, industrial activities.
While MEPA and agencies are still considering another inspection, the residents' biggest concern is the water, which they believe continues to be contaminated by wastewater being discharged from the factory.
I don't know how safe it is to consume whatever is being produced on this small farm.
Here at our place, there is no borehole. We drink water from a well.
But questions remain. How was the factory allowed to be established without an environmental impact assessment? Should such factories be built in residential areas? Who is responsible for ensuring factories are constructed in appropriate locations?